guys, and welcome to another YouTube lesson. Today we're going to take a look at the first of the marketing strategies. We've taken a look at the role of marketing, the influences, the impacts of marketing, the process of marketing we looked at last lesson, which is that marketing plan, all those processes added up make that marketing plan. Today we're looking at two different marketing strategies. The first one is called market segmentation, and the second marketing strategy we'll look at today is product, service, differentiation, and positioning. How to differentiate your product to improve your position, your ranking in the mind of the average consumer. So remember, strategies are anything you can put in place in marketing in terms of improving greater brand awareness, increasing sales, and making sure that you have a greater market share. That's the objective that you want to try and meet for marketing, your key objective. What's market segmentation, that first strategy? Market segmentation is the process of breaking down a total mass market. We've seen that many times, that mass market, into smaller segments based on similar characteristics of a particular customer group. It can allow a business to focus its resources, its efforts on one section, one segment, one part of that mass market to better maximize its marketing dollar. Because as we said before, the marketing budget is finite, a certain amount. They don't have unlimited funds. They want to make use of that to target only specific customers that are likely to purchase its items. I.e., if we're looking at dresses, some blokes would wear dresses, but not many. So you could divide that mass market in half, men, women, and you'd be mainly targeting women. And in terms of, say, advertising, you're looking at ads that women tend to watch. If it's done on age on something, then you would again try and target a market segment of age whereby people tend to be interested in watching those types of ads, and you get better bang for your buck. You have a better value for your marketing dollar. All right. Now the methods of market segmentation. How do we go about segmenting, dividing up those markets or that mass market into its various market segments? There's a few. The first one is called geographic segmentation. Also got demographic segmentation. We on top of that have psychographic segmentation and behavioural segmentation as well. So you need to understand from today's lesson what market segmentation is. It's that dividing up that mass market into various market parts called market segments, and you target those segments. And you also need to understand or remember the four different main ways to segment or divide up that mass market, and you need to be able to explain how they can be done. So, geographic segmentation. What is it? It's the process of dividing a market or customer group into smaller markets based on different geographic locations, such as nations, various states, or local government areas. A business may choose to operate in specific geographic areas, so it can focus on exclusively meeting the needs and wants of people in those areas. This presents the business with an opportunity to adjust its marketing plan to suit the buying behaviours of consumers in specific geographic locations. So remember, every geographical area, be it one country or another, or one city or another, are interested in different things. An example, Macca's, McDonald's India, for example, does not use beef or beef-related products. This is because of a strong spiritual and religious belief of most Indians, predominantly the Hindu population. They have a sacred respect for beef, as in Australia, we have respect for different animals compared to others. With certain animals like dogs, cats, we would never want to or think of eating that. Whereas when we take a look at Indian families, it's a similar thing. In fact, it's more so for them. They would never eat beef. So you would target or divide up your market based on the different markets you're in. So Maccas would look at India differently to how they look at many other geographical locations. Now there's demographic segmentation. It's another way to divide up your mass market. The demographics of a customer group, this is what demographics is. It's the demographics of a customer group refers to the characteristics of groups members, such as age, gender, income, levels of education, and so on. It's one of the main or more common forms of market segmentation and often includes, so I said, age, gender, or income. They're the three big ones in terms of dividing up a market based on age. So I'm going to target to tweens, which are in between children and teens, or teenagers, or the elderly. Stop looking at me when I say elderly, or people who are middle-aged or whatever. I'm going to target based on gender, and I'll divide that mass market into dudes and chicks, okay, into guys and into women. Or target based on income, and I'll divide up that mass market into different levels of income. So in terms of age, as we said, you know, how we would sell a magazine to look at girls mainly, or females, and you would look at, say, the tween market, which is up to, say, 9 to 13, roughly, about 9 to 13. Total Girl, it's an Australian-based magazine. They would target that market. All right, they'd already divide the market into male and female and generally target females. They would then further divide the market under demographic segmentation into certain age groups, and the Total Girl magazine would go, okay, I'm going to target that tween age, 9 to 13. Now, another magazine, such as Dolly magazine, I don't even know what any of these magazines are, it's just in the textbook, but Dolly magazine tend to target older teenagers. So again, they divide the market up in two ways in terms of demographic segmentation. They have the mass market, they go for women or females, and then they will go, all right, I'm going to divide it up again based on age, and I will target, if I'm Dolly magazine, based on the teenage market and so on. All right, another way is gender, and as I mentioned before, certain products tend to be appealing for women and some more so for men. Now there's lots that cross over with both, but there are many examples of things that guys like and that girls like generally separately. So if you're looking at things to do with cars and motor vehicles and so on, it's certainly sexist to say that no women like cars. That's garbage. Some do. But the majority of people who are into cars, sports cars and those type of things and motor vehicles tends to be more men than women. That's statistics. And so if you are to divide your market up and you are to target to men and you're looking at motor vehicles, that would be a way to use demographic market segmentation. Incomes is another way as well. Now, the second way to segment, to divide up the market, is called psychographic segmentation. Psychographic segmentation. This allows a business to segment, again, divide up the mass market into different groups based on customers' lifestyle, their personality, values, and interest. For example, a sporting goods retailer such as Rebel would divide their stores into sections based on different sports. Part of a store would specialise in cricket clothing, while another section is for gym enthusiasts like myself, as you can see, the gun show. Another caters for people outdoor leisure pursuits, so swimming stuff and so on. The store layout reflects the community's wide range of sporting interests. So there's psychographic segmentation. Different interests would be targeted in certain ways. Now, the third way to segment the market is behavioural segmentation. It's the process, again, of dividing up a market based on people's knowledge of and attitudes towards the use of a product. How often they use it is part of this behavioural segmentation. When using this form of market segmentation, a business may consider a number of factors. These factors include those customers who purchase often. The business will consider when a business is most likely to purchase its product, or when customers are most likely to purchase its product rather, i.e. in terms of the behavioural segmentation. And we're looking at an example of those who purchase occasionally. A florist, obviously a business, will vary their promotional and pricing strategies throughout the year to suit significant occasions when people commonly buy flowers and target the group who usually buys flowers for that particular occasion. i.e. you might have for Valentine's Day couples, and you will target them, and you'll often increase the price of roses during that period of time because they're, the flower of love or whatever. And, that's part of that behavioural segmentation pattern. Also, if we're taking a look here at Mother's Day, or Father's Day, then businesses will tend to target, in case of Mother's Day, they'll target fathers and children to be able to maximize their dollar, trying to sell to that specific market. Not every guy is a father, okay, and so on. So they'll target husbands and fathers and things like that, and partners. Now, another way to have this behavioural segmentation is usage rate. Usage rate is a factor influencing this form of market segmentation. It allows a business to differentiate its customer base by establishing how often customers use businesses' goods or services. Now, broadband internet companies have often adopted this strategy by offering different groups of customers varying internet packages depending on their internet usage requirements. Someone like me streams a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to say crap, but you shouldn't say crap when you're talking to students. I never do that. So they would charge me more money. Somebody who doesn't use it often, they might have a lower plan, and they would charge them less money to use that. All right, now, in terms of the next dot point, because that takes a look at the main aspects of market segmentation. The take home from market segmentation is, what is it? Well, it's dividing up that mass market into the various market segments. All right, and it can be done on a range of things. The easiest one to remember is that demographic market segmentation. Men and women, different ages. It's a way in which you divide up the market. Now, the second strategy we look at today is product and service differentiation and how to better, therefore, position the product in the mind of the consumer. So product differentiation, what is it? It's the process whereby a business distinguishes, differentiates the attributes and features of a product from that of its rivals, its competitors. Okay, it is what the business believe will attract customers to its product compared to their rivals. Business may use a variety of strategies to emphasize their product. These often focus around the price, making it cheaper than their rivals, and also the product's quality. Better quality or lower price, or a combination of the two, is a good way to differentiate your product. Therefore, an effective marketing strategy. Now, in terms of price, if the business wants to use price to differentiate its product, it needs to try and be the cheapest provider within its industry. Now, some businesses have become kind of experts at doing this and sort of carved out a market segment for themselves. Big W and especially Kmart have been very successful in using this strategy to be able to differentiate themselves from their competitors, from their rivals. They even have slogans such as, for Big W, it has Australia's lowest prices every day. Whereas Kmart, it again differentiates through the slogan, great value and everyday low prices. Now, product quality is another key way to differentiate your business and therefore give you a competitive advantage to be able to give yourself as a business this better position, better ranking in the mind of the consumer. And that's what, in essence, they're after. And that's through product quality. Now, if we take a look at some businesses like Woolworths, okay, but better example too would be Big W. Sorry, Big W. No, definitely not. BMW. Woolworths has the slogan, the fresh food people. They're trying to differentiate themselves against other businesses like Audi by trying to suggest that they have the freshest food all the time, that they are of better quality. Shop with us. Therefore, it gives you a competitive advantage. And when a customer thinks of a supermarket, they're more likely to think of Woolworths for quality. Okay, its position is higher in the mind of the consumer. BMW has the slogan, the ultimate driving machine. Again, they're trying to position themselves, BMW, above other car manufacturers like Honda, Ford, and so on, because they're trying to portray this image of quality and prestige, and therefore rank themselves higher than their competitors in the mind of the average consumer. Now, the final main way to differentiate yourself from your rivals, your competitors, is through service differentiation. This is crucial to the success of any business providing service. It is an important feature and involves direct and immediate form of contact between the business and the customer. Now, often a business can't differentiate based on price because, it's a product that's going to be a similar price whether you're business A or business B or business Z. The quality of a product might be good for many businesses. So the way in which businesses, especially small business, can get this competitive advantage, can be positioned, ranked higher in the mind of that average consumer, is better service. You've often been to a place where it might be a little bit expensive, but you come out of it going, I want to go back there. That service was exceptional. Whether it be going to a restaurant, whether I went and got some lights recently, and the young gentleman who served me had exceptional service. And it wasn't cheap compared to like Big W, but I think it's worth going back there because it felt nice to go to that shop. There was a high quality of service and the gentleman knew what he was talking about and it wasn't wasting my time. So service really, in my mind, was Beacon I went to. For me, they're positioned well above Big W where I went to get some lights previously, or Bunnings as well. Not surprisingly, they generally are positioned in terms of quality and service higher than the other two I mentioned. Now, positioning. I alluded roughly to what it is, but I'll explain it very clearly. Positioning refers to the image that a product has in the mind of the average consumer. It's the ranking. If I was to say to you, cola, think, choose, one brand, most people would say Coke straight away. If not, I guarantee the next one would really be Pepsi. So Coke is positioned, one, in the mind of the consumer. Pepsi, second, in the mind of the average consumer. And so by doing all of these things, differentiating based on price, based on services, quality, you're trying to improve the brand, that position in the mind of the average consumer. All right, thanks guys, and see you next lesson.